Hello, my name is The Amazing Atheist, and this is not a movie review channel. This is a channel where I talk about atheism, sometimes politics, sometimes obscure philosophical notions, and a lot of times just let's be honest, pointless nonsense that is just amusing to me. But I feel compelled by forces that are just... I don't even know how to put this into words. I mean, this movie, I walked into this movie with my expectations as low as I could get them. I mean, I've been looking forward to this movie for a year, okay? I mean, as many of us have, because it was so hugely hyped. So, in order to not be disappointed, I tried to lower my expectations as much as I could. And I said, it's going to be a good movie. It's going to be good. It may even be great, but it's probably not going to be a masterpiece. Do not expect a masterpiece when you walk in. You will just be disappointed. And Heath Ledger as the Joker. I told myself, it's going to be on par with Jack Nicholson. I'm probably going to like his portrayal a little better because it just seems more in the line of what I've always thought of the Joker as being, which is an agent of chaos, but it's just going to be apples and oranges, It's not going to be Heath Ledger is vastly superior to Jack Nicholson in every way. Now, I was so wrong that I deserve to be beaten to death with a sack of live puppies for how wrong I was on both of those counts. First of all, the movie is absolutely, unquestionably a masterpiece. This is the best movie to come out this year, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I will venture to say that failing some sort of incredible film in the next 4 or 5 months, this is going to be the best movie of the year, regardless of whether it's awarded some meaningless Oscar. This is the best movie of the year. It's probably the best movie of the last 5 years, topping even There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men, which both came out last year, and both were incredible movies. But this movie is better than both of them. This is the kind of movie that, even if you're not the kind of person who likes to talk about movies, you're going to leave this movie wanting to talk about this movie with other people. This is the only movie I've ever been to in my life where the whole theater afterwards was in the lobby talking about the movie. Usually in my town, people, they go see the movie, they get up, they say, well, that was alright, and they leave. This movie, people were clapping, they went outside the movie, they started talking to each other, they started talking about their favorite parts, recounting their favorite scenes, talking about how brilliant it was. There were people talking about the cinematography, people talking about Christian Bale's performance as Batman, people talking about Gary Oldman and Morgan Freeman and all those guys. But of course, the main discourse was about Heath Ledger. And let me just tell you this now, folks. Jack Nicholson might as well just blow his fucking brains out because he sucks compared to this performance. I mean, I was going to be fair, and Jack Nicholson is an amazing, terrific actor, and I'm a huge fan of most of his movies, and I thought he did a pretty good job as the Joker, even if he didn't, in my mind, portray the Joker that exists in the comic books. I still thought it was a very impressive performance. It's actually the only thing in the 1989 Batman that still holds up. I mean, if you watch that movie today, it all seems dated except for Jack Nicholson's performance. But I gotta say, folks, this wasn't apples and oranges. This was a watermelon that Heath Ledger, in his Gallagher-like fashion, smashed to pieces. He makes Jack Nicholson look like a grumpy Ronald McDonald, basically. That's how intimidating Jack Nicholson's Joker seems compared to Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, the opening sequence, you might be a little iffy, I guess, just from the introduction, because he doesn't seem as wild and chaotic as you might expect him to right off the bat. And you're kind of like, well, he's doing a pretty good job so far. But, you're not, like, blown away right off the bat by the first scene. I mean, it's a very involving scene, and it really gets you into the movie, and it's the very first scene of the movie. And it really gets you into the flow of things. But it's not until, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away, by the way. I mean, there's nothing in my review that's going to spoil the movie for you. The movie couldn't even be spoiled. I could reveal every plot detail, and it would still be an amazing experience. I plan on seeing it again in the next few days. I'm probably going to see this movie at least 3 or 4 times, and I'm not the kind of person who does that, believe me. But when he does the magic trick with the pencil, everyone, God, that is amazing. It was just, the whole theater was like, whoa, okay, this is insane. This is incomprehensibly awesome. And every scene from that point on that his Joker was in, the whole crowd, as great as everyone else was, no matter what was happening, you could feel the audience palpably waiting for Heath Ledger's Joker to make his next appearance. You could feel them just sitting there, just on the edge of their seats, waiting for him to pop up again. And you never really knew where he was going to pop up. They went for long periods of the movie. There was, I think, a point where it went about 20 minutes without his presence, and you're kind of like, the whole time that he's not on the screen, you're wondering, what is that maniac up to? What is he doing right now? And every time he appears, it becomes progressively more chaotic. Every time he's on the screen, something even more outrageous happens. And you don't see any of it coming. You're not sitting there like, oh, I know what he's going to do now. You don't know what this character's going to do. He's not the formula, unpredictable, mad dog character. This guy, you really have no idea where he's going at any given moment. What sort of depraved, evil shit he's going to be up to next. Some people have said this should be called Joker the movie. I think that's unfair because this movie is an ensemble piece, and that's really strange for a superhero movie. But this movie breaks all the superhero movie rules. Someone told me this movie. Someone told me last night this movie is really deep for a comic book movie. No, it's just deep. Okay. And the great thing about it is, if you're an idiot, which a lot of you are, I know, you're still going to enjoy this movie for its action, for just how there's a lot of jokes. So it's pretty gritty and dark, but there is a lot of humor to alleviate it. But if you're a smart person and you actually have thoughts, you're going to also enjoy this movie because there are so many moments of these impossible ethical choices that the Joker forces these characters to make, and I'm totally failing at what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to explain to you the greatness of this movie, and it really can't be explained. If you are even thinking about not seeing this movie, like, I don't know, it doesn't look that good to me, you're a fucking moron. Get your ass to the theater now, okay? It's just an incredible movie-going experience. Let me do this. I did this for someone last night, and I just to prove to myself how awesome this movie was, because even though it is spectacular, you kind of think, well, it's a comic book movie, so I can't really say that it deserves to be lauded as this great and masterful film because it's a comic book movie, because it has superheroes in it. Here's something I did for someone last night, and I want to do it for you guys too, to just give you an example of how awesome this movie is. Let's go through the last 10 or 20 years of Best Picture nominations, and I'll tell you which of them The Dark Knight was better than, at least in my opinion. Okay, No Country for Old Men. Very close, but The Dark Knight is better. The Departed, The Dark Knight is better. Crash, The Dark Knight is way better, but we all know Crash didn't deserve to win anyway. Million Dollar Baby, I love Clint Eastwood. I am the biggest Clint Eastwood fan in the world, but Dark Knight was better. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, I mean, come on, people. Dark Knight was way better than that shit. Chicago, obviously The Dark Knight was better. A Beautiful Mind, Dark Knight was better. Gladiator, Dark Knight was better. American Beauty. Okay, The Dark Knight wasn't better than American Beauty, but it was pretty goddamn close. They're about even, okay? They're totally different movies with totally different themes, but I can't definitively say that one is better than the other, because they were both movies that blew me away at the time that I saw them. Shakespeare in Love, Dark Knight was better. Titanic, Dark Knight was better, obviously. English Patient, The Dark Knight was way, way better. Braveheart, yeah, that's where you start to get to the point where maybe you're on even footing.